You just tell me we have no roof and no walls.
Do not put this on me! You tearing to me for keeping secrets when you're holding on to this!
You want me to bring a baby into this? To live a short, cruel life?
How can you think like that?
I'm Enigma and I'm a qualified body language analyst and private investigator, and today I'm going to be reacting to this tense scene from Season 2 Episode 6 of The Walking Dead, where Lori reveals to Rick that she's pregnant. So, let's take a look. So when finding the pills, Rick immediately enters what's known as the freeze response and stops moving. This shocking news causes his defense mechanism to become triggered, and the dorsal pec system activates and suppresses his motor function as a way of reducing his movement. This is a survival mechanism that makes him harder to spot by predators, whilst also buying him time to assess the situation. Rick is extremely shocked here.
Is this something you need to tell me?
We can't leave. I'm pregnant.
Are you?
I threw him up. You can yell if you want. You can scream if you have to.
So Rick expresses what's called cognitive load here as he confronts Lori. When we get angry, which is a form of stress, the amygdala triggers the sympathetic nervous system, causing adrenaline to be released into the bloodstream via the adrenal glands. As a result, the limbic system receives processing priority, and the brain reduces function in the prefrontal cortex to compensate. This is cognitive load. We begin to stutter and struggle to concentrate because the brain is prioritizing self-defense. We also see Rick expressing a load of muscle tension around his face and mouth, as well as distancing when Lori says that she threw them up. He's filled with rage and also shock.
Talk to me.
How long have you known?
Doesn't matter.
Days? Weeks? And you didn't tell me?
I'm telling you now.
No! I found these. So Glenn knows, right? Instead of coming to me, you send him to get pills?
You just tell me we have no roof and no walls.
Do not put this on me!
So Rick is doing what's called the power pose here. He's resting one arm on his hip and does this as a method of calming his nervous system. The wide grounded stance helps boost proprioceptive feedback, which helps activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing his arousal. It effectively signals safety to his brain, and this reduces his cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. And when Rick shouts at Lori, she immediately does a distancing behavior and looks away. She's trying to psychologically distance herself from the situation by avoiding eye contact. Direct eye contact is a high threat signal, and she distances to appear non-confrontational. She is trying to de-escalate the situation.
You tearing to me for keeping secrets when you're holding on to this!
You want me to bring a baby into this? To live a short, cruel life?
How can you think like that?
We can't protect the son we already have.
So this is the solution.
Rick, I threw them up. I screwed up. I don't know how we do this.
We can make it work.
How? Tell me.
Rick distances here and exhales whilst expressing what's called the smile mask. He's not smiling because he's happy, but does it as a method of expressing and venting his frustration, whilst maintaining a socially acceptable outward demeanor. And when Lori says that they can't even protect Carl, Rick is unable to find a response, and instead distances and throws the pills on the floor. He knows that her brutal worldview is correct, but tries to keep his humanity, which actually perfectly reflects Rick's inability to decide what to do with Randall, who is at this point in the series being held prisoner in the barn. Rick is trying to hold on to the old way of living. They then both distance from each other to self-regulate.
We'll figure it out. Shouldn't we try to figure it out? You threw up the pills. You want this baby. I know you do.
Not like this. Not giving birth in a ditch. Not when its life will hang by a thread from the second it's born. Now, when every cry will put it and Carl and everyone we care about into danger. That's not right.
Not even giving it a chance isn't right either.
Maybe this is why I didn't want to tell you.
I still don't understand why.
So Rick is extremely emotional here, but consciously tries to suppress it, especially in his voice. After he realizes Lori regretted her decision to take the pills, he tries to minimize his aggression towards her, and mitigates the effects of his sympathetic activation, which causes his voice to sound slightly off from normal. It shows that he's able to put aside his intense feelings and do what's right.
You really think I'd make you have a baby you don't want?
No, so that if I went through with it, it would be on my conscience. And not yours.
Maybe that's true, but I can't live like this anymore. Lori, we can't live like this. Is there anything else I should know about?
So Rick knows that she was with Shane at this point and gives her a chance to come clean to him. And we see that asking her causes him a large amount of stress. He expresses what's called the globus response and swallows after asking her. This is due to the muscle tension in the throat causing a strong urge to swallow. He feels this spike likely because he's apprehensive as to whether or not she'll continue lying to him.
Shane and I.
I know. Of course I know. You thought I was dead. The world went to shit and you thought I was dead. Right?
Yeah.
So again, when Lori comes clean to Rick and admits that she was with Shane, Rick immediately distances, but again his voice becomes softer. His parasympathetic nervous system has been activated, as the immediate stressor is now gone. She came clean to him, and he now focuses on internal emotional processing. His respiration rate stabilizes, and we see an overall reduction in his physiological arousal. It's extremely detailed acting. And this scene is packed with so many complicated nonverbals, and I could only really comment on half the body language here, as there is just so much going on. It's a really detailed scene.